A handful of companies have live streamed their annual shareholders meeting on YouTube and other social media or other website platforms. Some of these live stream meetings are then permanently archived on YouTube. Today on Zippy Point. I'm Brock Romanack and I'm a big fan of yous. Okay, virtual annual meetings are understandably a hot topic given the virus. The upshot is that if state law permits them, the state in which your company is incorporated, in your charter and bylaws too, you can hold a virtual meeting instead of it being in person. Companies have been doing virtual meetings for years, ever since Inforte broke the mold in 2001 when it held a meeting by fax. After Broadridge built a virtual meeting platform about 5 years ago, they've become much more popular. And now Broadridge even has a few competitors because it's a hot thing. So Computershare has jumped in, Mediant, Open Exchange. But what about live streaming the meeting yourself? I'm not sure how collecting ballots at the meeting are handled. So maybe this is done in tandem with one of these commercial meeting platforms that handle that kind of functionality. But the first companies have live streamed their meetings on YouTube and elsewhere. Given that Google owns YouTube, it's only natural that its parent company Alphabet would be doing this. They first broadcast an annual meeting on YouTube back in 2015. And here you can see on their YouTube Investor Relations channel, the last meeting lasted 90 minutes. It had slides. Closed captioning is a nice touch. When you look at the videos on Google's dedicated IR channel, it's interesting to compare the number of visits for annual meetings compared to the quarterly earnings calls. The 2020 annual meeting garnered 3,000 views. The 2019 meeting had 7,500. Meanwhile, the earnings calls have obtained anywhere between 30 and 75,000 visits. So obviously the earning calls are much more popular, but a few thousand views is nothing to sneeze at, right? Some companies get less than a dozen shareholders that attend their annual meeting when it's done in person. Proxy disclosure for live streaming is quite simple. There's usually a sentence and then URL. So here you see the proxy statement for Alphabet. It's just one sentence with a link to the YouTube Investor Relations account. Tesla's been doing this for a couple of years too. They don't mention YouTube specifically. They have a Tesla URL. I believe they use Broadridge as their platform. And Tesla's been using the Say app to allow for questions to be asked. And those questions are then segregated by whether the person asking is an institutional or a retail shareholder. And those questions can be voted upon so that the most popular questions that are thrown in the queue, this is done in writing, rise to the top of the queue. Then the Tesla annual meeting, at least an archive, has been placed on YouTube. I don't think it was live streamed live on YouTube, but the archive is on Google and it has 500,000 views, 500,000. So that's Elon Musk for you, right? The 2019 meeting lasted 2 hours. That had Elon and some other senior managers making presentations. Then you have the rock star, Warren Buffett. He's even more popular than Elon. Nearly 1 million visits to his 2020 meeting archived on Google. Warren Buffett's is a full day affair. It's actually a full weekend of events, but the annual meeting is a full day affair, nearly 6 hours. And Berkshire Hathaway live streamed on Yahoo Finance, which it's done for the last 4 or 5 years, as Carl Hagberg here notes when it started in his shareholder service optimizer. Facebook live streams its meetings too, at least it has for the last year on its own live streaming platform. Facebook has its own platform, but an audio archive is only available on Facebook's IR page, and it doesn't display the number of visits, nor is it on YouTube. So when you plug in annual shareholder meeting in YouTube, this is what you find. At the top here is the Berkshire Hathaway meeting that was posted after Yahoo Finance live streamed it, 870,000 views as of the date I'm doing this video. Then you have the Alphabet one, 2,300. Walmart's full meeting. If you have never seen this, 3 hours with a live band, lots of rah-rah stuff.
Fool in front of BMW's
pom-poms given out. I mean, it's a scene, man. I mean, it's a trip. Let's skip through this a little bit. This live entertainment event, free food, the whole 9 yards. You get the idea. I've never been. I don't own Walmart stock. Then you have Microsoft's annual meeting, posted by Luke, 140 views. This is not an official Microsoft posting, and this is, I believe it's audio only. And then you get down to here, Citi. This is on their official account, 5,000 views. It's just the CEO's report on the state of Citi. This was done for 2019. I did not see one for 2020. They just did it the 1 year. Here, Amazon officially put up 2 minutes of Q&A from the CEO, Jeff Bezos. That got 100,000 views for 2-minute video. And then Boeing, this is their official thing, 11,000 views for 15 minutes of last year's meeting, the CEO's remarks. And then you have Luke again, 200 views. That's unofficial. Was for Starbucks. So someone named Luke in the Seattle area is apparently somehow capturing. It's 50 minutes. It's the whole meeting, and they must be somehow a shareholder and getting onto Broadridge's site. If Broadridge is the platform, I'm not sure they are. I mean, the funny thing about the Luke bootleg videos is that there's very few bootlegs on YouTube or otherwise on the internet because there's only official company videos. Most companies have rules of conduct that when you go in person to an annual shareholders meeting, they are not allowed to take pictures and videos, and in some companies even collect your cell phone at the door. They put them in plastic bags and some cubbies, and then when you come out of the annual meeting, you claim your phone back, so you're not allowed to bring those in. I would be remiss if I didn't mention Plug Power. You don't have to be one of these super brand name, well-known companies to be posting your annual meeting. So this is the 2020 meeting for Plug Power, 2,500 views. And it's slide presentation, what you'd see at an annual meeting. So that's great that they did it. I don't know if it was a live stream, but they definitely have at least the archive posted online. Congrats. I've also found some examples where the annual meeting is broadcast on Broadridge's platform, virtualshareholdermeeting.com. They're still available on companies' IR web pages. So here's one from Twitter. So you can see this is what the Broadridge platform looks like. It's pretty nice. The videos here, and then normally you can click on this and you can jump to various slides. So if for some reason you had already seen this and you know what the various slides say, you can jump around by just going to these, what they're called chapters, I believe. Pretty cool. So I have other Vid-Guides about virtual meetings. So if you go to zippypoint.com, you can find those, or search YouTube with the hashtags of hashtag virtual meetings, hashtag zippypoint.